Oh, hello everyone. My name's Lockie. This is Oswatch Football. We are here for a Socceroos watch-along. Our first one since, I'm pretty sure we were live here on this channel for the last Socceroos game, which was, 5 months ago now. That 3-0 loss against Colombia, and of course that came just after the disappointing loss to Venezuela as well. The Socceroos looking to respond here after many months for head coach Tony Popovic to maybe assess the game plan of the Socceroos, the tactics, and we are coming up against Cameroon tonight, as of course this is the last two games before heading overseas for the World Cup in just a couple months' time. So very much looking forward to this game. We've got the lineup here. We've got the graphic up here, as you can see. Now, I'm very curious to see whether this is sort of the expected formation. I'm not completely confident that this is what the team is going to look like, to be honest. I've got a feeling it's going to be something different. I mean, I think Tony Popovic hinted at a potential slight shift of formation, whether that looks like maybe two strikers and sort of one number 10. So there's some things that we have to keep an eye on in this game. Very much looking forward to it. Leo said is here in the live chat. Only is here in the live chat as well. We are back indeed. Indeed, mate. We are back indeed. We did it. We did our first live stream in a long time last week for one of the Matildas games in the Asian Cup. Of course, the Tillies unfortunately losing the final last weekend. And now all attention turns to the Socceroos. So it's been a busy time for the Australian national teams. And of course, the core Stadium Australia, Sydney Olympic Park is once again the venue for another big match involving Australia. G'day, Marcus. Marcus with a comment here regarding Sydney FC. Marcus says, we're so back. Uffy's gone. We're winning the league. Yeah, man. I mean, that's obviously been one of the big stories of the past week. Ufuk Talay departed Sydney FC. There's been reports linking Ufuk Talay to Western Sydney Wanderers. So very interesting to see that Sydney FC have just parted ways with him, straight up there and then. And, where does he end up next? Is it Western Sydney Wanderers? Nothing's official yet, I don't think, but we'll keep an eye on it. G'day, A-League X. Good to see you here, mate. I've been seeing your videos, man. Really love what you've been putting out. That's right. We didn't get around to streaming the final, unfortunately. I did catch the game, though. And, dude, I'll tell you what, the effort from the Tillies in that final, despite the loss, dude, I was like, it was the most nervy watch as an Australian fan, that final against Japan. G'day, Valhoon as well. Good to see you here, mate. And Tan Lee, g'day, Tan Lee. Long-time viewer of the channel as well, says, hey, excited see any tactics tweaks since it. Yeah, dude, I mean, that's what I was touching on before. I'm curious to see whether there is any sort of formational, is that a word? Formational shift. You guys know what I mean. Because, again, Tony Popovic has sort of hinted that we may be playing a system that has like two strikers and a number 10. Now, I think we may well see this formation where Juric is playing as the striker. Huge for Denny Juric starting tonight. What a huge opportunity for him. Of course, brother of Tommy Juric, who was another Socceroo as well. Martin Boyle McGree. I mean, expect them to play, possibly as those two number 10s, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it's Juric and Boyle playing as those two strikers, and then maybe McGree behind. But then Connor Metcalf, a big curveball as well. Connor Metcalf is potentially playing in midfield today. We're going to find out in a matter of minutes as the teams walk out onto the field of play as we speak. Connor Metcalf potentially playing in midfield alongside Aidan O'Neill. That's an interesting one. And of course, a big talking point in defense. What a moment for young centre-back Lucas Harrington, who was at Brisbane Roar over the last couple of years, now over at Colorado Rapids in the MLS and playing regular football there already this season. He starts. He's straight into the starting lineup. It is quite fascinating when it comes to young players being brought into the Socceroos setup. Not naming any players in particular, but we have seen it before where Tony Popovic has sort of, opted to not necessarily involve those players in the games in their first camp, and maybe they'll make their debut in the next camp or the camp after that. That has completely changed now. Lucas Harrington is straight in. It's his first camp, and he's straight into the starting lineup. What a huge opportunity for him. He deserves it too, man. This is a guy who's just was so impressive for Brisbane Roar in what was a disappointing campaign for them last season. And he was there for the first few months of this season. And you could see when he left, Brisbane Roar dropped off a bit. He's a fantastic, promising talent. But of course, we should talk about those other defenders in there. I mean, Italiano, right wing back, no surprises there. Geordie Boss, left wing back, Australia's best player. That is my opinion. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree. I believe Geordie Boss is Australia's best player. Alessandro Ciccati, Jason Gary in defence as well. So very solid backline there for me. And then Matty Ryan, of course, wearing the captain's armband. All right. So, dude, it's been, I don't know where you feel free to let me know where you guys are watching from, whether you're in Australia or always great to see some international viewers in these live streams. I'm broadcasting here from the central coast of New South Wales. Very chilly. I was in Sydney today. Very, very chilly day, an unusually cold day. Yesterday was hot. Yesterday was hot. I was sweating at points yesterday, but today was a complete contrast. So the national anthem is currently being sung, and some nice jackets that the Socceroos players are wearing as these national anthems are being sung. Of course, it's going to be very exciting to hear this national anthem being sung in a couple months' time over in North America. All righty. Going back to that discussion point regarding Ufuk Talay, as Leo Center 23 in the chat says here, Vince Rugari said someone he knows said Ufuk Talay to Western Sydney Wanderers is pretty much already done. Yeah, I saw that. It was on the Total A-League show, wasn't it? He mentioned that Talay to Wanderers is pretty much done. So, again, nothing shared official from Western Sydney Wanderers. But, yeah, what a storyline. What a storyline it is. Ufuk Talay. Potentially the next head coach of Western Sydney Wanderers. All right. Feel free to throw some score predictions in the live chat. Say g'day. What are we hoping from this game? I mean, it's not going to be easy. Cameroon, what a test. Cameroon made it to the quarterfinals of the Africa's Cup of Nations earlier this year. And they're a team with quality players. So this is going to require Australia to put in a really good performance to get a good result here. Newey Jets, g'day, mate. Good to see you. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm doing all right. Marcus here in regards to Kisnorb, of course, recently appointed head coach at Sydney FC for at least for the remainder of the season, I believe. Do you think Kisnorbo will stay? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put it this way. If Sydney FC hold on to their spot in finals, which I think they will do, if Sydney FC win the championship, if they go on and win the grand final, you probably will, yeah. I could see it. If he wins the championship, that would be huge. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. All righty. Kickoff is just around the corner. Australia taking on Cameroon. Australia will be taking on Curacao on Tuesday night next week down in Melbourne. Very strong bench, of course, as well. They're showing on the broadcast the bench. I mean, we haven't even spoken about some of the options we have there. Plenty of choices on the bench. Score prediction. Let's talk about it. Tanley says 2-0 or 2-1 Australia. Yeah, dude, I'm backing us for a win. I think it will be a narrow win. I'll say 2-1 as well. I'll go with you as well. I'll go 2-1 Australia. I think this is going to be a fascinating test coming up against Cameroon. I mean, the broadcast has shown that they may well be playing with a back three as well. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But again, I mean, we of course are focusing on the Socceroos lineup and whether it is indeed what we have here on our on the graphic. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this live watch along. Again, this is our well, we were live for the last Socceroos game all the way back in, what was it, November against Colombia, that disappointing 3-0 loss Really, really disappointing. Of course, there's 2 games. Lost to Venezuela, lost to Colombia. So lost to USA prior to that, and then of course we beat Canada before that. So it's been a really interesting run of friendlies. And of course, we shouldn't forget, before that, Tony Popovic had some fantastic form with the Socceroos. Went on a really strong winning run and an undefeated run. So the 2 teams are set to kick off here. Accor Stadium, Sydney Olympic Park. World Cup preparations. Of course, it's no longer about rotation. It's no longer about fiddling with things. It's about making sure that we are putting in our best performance possible. We are underway. Socceroos, Cameroon. The first half is kicked off. And I tell you what, looking at the Socceroos setup already, our lineup graphic might be spot on. There we go. Usually I'm not that. There's always Tony Popovic always likes to throw us surprises with his squad selections. But it looks like we might be right in regards to the arrangement of the players. Urich playing as that central striker, McGree and Boyle as those 2 number 10s. Boyle off the right, McGree off the left. Connor Metcalf. We are accustomed to seeing Connor Metcalf, the San Pauli midfielder, attacking midfielder, I should say, play further up the park as Jacob Italiano's in behind down the right. Chance for Australia. Good opportunity, and we've got a corner. Less than 60 seconds on the clock. Socceroos with an opportunity from a set piece coming up. Dude, great. Was it Ciccardi with the long ball? But the run from Italiano was lovely. Martin Boyle was in the box, and Cameron was able to deal with it. What do you guys think of the new Socceroos kits? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. Corner for Australia. In-swinger from McGree towards the far post. Not the best delivery. Harrington was there, but just got the delivery a bit wrong there, rather. McGree, who, of course, has been in some good form in recent months with his club side Middlesbrough in the English Championship. Of course, Middlesbrough currently pushing for potential promotion to the English Premier League. Marcus says the Socceroos kit looks nice. Yeah, it is nice. Look, I'll be honest, it's not my favorite kit in the last decade or so, but it's nice. It's a classic kit. Well, behind me here in our backdrop, we've got the a bit of the green on it as well. I mean, it's not it. The new kit is quite similar to this 2006. I believe this is the 2006 Socceroos kit. So it almost seems like it's a bit of a homage to that. You know what I mean? G'day, Glenn. Where are you watching the match? I'm watching on Paramount Plus. So viewers in Australia can watch on Paramount Plus. It may be on Channel 10 as well. I'm not sure. Folks in the live chat can maybe let us know. Leo Center 23 says, I miss Jackson Irvine, the GOAT. Yeah, Jackson Irvine, not a part of the squad here for the Socceroos. But of course, I'm sure he'll be a crucial player when it comes to the World Cup. Timely on the kit, on the Socceroos kit as well, says back to the classic, not liking the previous kit. Shorty Boss looking to make a run down the left, inside for Boyle. Martin Boyle. All right. It's been a decent start from Australia. 3 minutes in, 0-0. But we're on the ball, knocking it around well. And this is, I think, what we wanted to see. I think what Socceroos fans were getting concerned about in those last couple of windows last year was it felt a little bit negative, the play from the Socceroos, didn't it? It felt like we were just sitting deep, sitting back. And of course, the Socceroos have been defensively very, very strong under head coach Tony Popovic over the last, year and a half now. But we in those last few games, we were just lacking that attacking spark, that creativity. We have the players. We're capable, man. We know Nestor and Kunda, Ron McGree, Moture. Of course, no Toure in this camp. He's returning from injury. Italiano's making another run, and he's in behind again. Good touch. A little bit heavy. 4 minutes in, and Jacob Italiano has gotten in behind on that right side twice already. And there we go. New Jets. Do you think the Jets can stay in top spot? Hope to see you down in Newey for the F3 Derby soon. Dude, I mean, what a season it has been for Newcastle Jets. Credit to them. Despite, of course, being rivals of my mighty Central Coast Mariners. You do have to applaud Newcastle Jets in the season that they have had up to this point. I think they will see it through. I mean, after the last weekend's results, after Auckland lost to the Bulls, with Auckland losing and the Jets beating Sydney, I think the Jets should see it out from here. I can't see them dropping it from here. Despite, of course, a couple of weeks ago, we did see Auckland defeat the Jets in Newcastle, which really shook things up. But the way that the Jets responded by defeating Sydney FC away, really impressive, man. So I think the Jets do hold on, honestly. Tan Lee here says, looks like we're more fit and winning the 50-50 balls. Yeah, it's a good start. I'm liking it. And yeah, we're looking at it. There's like an energy. There's a bit more of an urgency amongst the players. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like we're getting more players up the pitch. That's what we didn't really see in the last couple of windows. We're getting more players in advanced positions. Jacob Italiano is playing very, very high on that right-hand side. Boyle's all over the place, which is great. He's finding pockets of space. And Boyle, short for Italiano. And that's a goal kick. So it's a promising start here for Australia. We're 6 minutes in, folks. G'day, Exceptional. Watching on Paramount Plus. This game is live on Paramount Plus, at least for viewers in Australia. As far as I'm aware, might be on Channel 10 as well. Someone let us know in the live chat. Might be on free-to-air as well. But I'm watching on Paramount Plus this evening. 0-0. Of course, this is our first look at Denny Urich for the Socceroos. Huge opportunity for Denny Urich. A lot of conversation around that centre forward position for the Socceroos. As we know, Moture, I think we can all agree, it feels like Moture is that number one striker for the Socceroos after he really impressed last year for Australia. We remember that great performance over at in Auckland against New Zealand where he almost had a hat-trick. But Denny Urich gets the start here tonight. Obviously, with Toure not in the squad. Ante Shuto, of course, is also in the squad. Lucas Harrington, good couple early touches, 7 minutes into this game. The team is knocking the ball around very nicely so far. What happened to Cassini Yengi? Cassini Yengi, look, I'm sure he's still in the mix. Obviously, left Aberdeen in the recent transfer window. Cameroon are in behind here down the right. Cross comes in, and there's Harrington with a brilliant. That's why he's starting, man. Lucas Harrington with a lovely defensive header there. That was Cameroon's first sort of real sort of attacking play there down the right-hand side. They got away, and the cross came in, and Lucas Harrington. Look, we don't want to get carried away talking up players too much, but there's just a feeling about Lucas Harrington, and you get the sense that this guy could be a regular in the Socceroos squads for the next decade at least. Lucas Harrington, he's tall, he's strong, and he's good on the ball. Alrighty. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in for our live watch along tonight. Hit that like button, support the channel. Talking all things Australian football. We are back. We are back with the live streams. We did our first live stream in a while last week for the Matildas semi-final in the Asian Cup. Of course, the Matildas unfortunately losing the final against Japan last weekend. Now the attention turns to the Socceroos. 9 minutes in, 0-0 against Cameroon. Yeah, Valhoon, I probably agree with you there. I mean, I think Irvine would start for me for sure. Harry Suter, we know he's been injured for a very long time. Hopefully he's back playing football soon, man. Because we need him playing football if he's going to be involved in the World Cup. Hey, he's been out for a very, 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 very long time. But we know that Harry Suter is a fantastic defender, and he was brilliant for the Socceroos back in the World Cup, the last World Cup, 2022. So look, if he is fit, he probably is there. He probably is there. Yeah. The only reason I say probably is because he just hasn't played any football in recent in a long time. So Cameroon with their first corner of the game after 10 minutes. It's going to be an in-swinger. Maybe Lucas Harrington can head this one away as well. Australia defensive task here. The corner's decent too. Geordie Boss manages to poke it away. Still on the defense here, Australia. Cameroon going backwards. But good defensive shape there. That was looking all right. I don't mind this midfield duo, O'Neill, Metcalf, Connor Metcalf. Again, for the Socceroos, we most often see him, and for his club, as far as I'm aware, does play in one of those more advanced positions as one of those attacking midfielders, even out in a wide position. But I do recall Connor Metcalf coming through at Melbourne City, playing in a three-man midfield. And I reckon Connor Metcalf could operate really effectively as a box-to-box midfielder, and that's essentially what we're seeing tonight, playing alongside Aidan O'Neill. Of course. It's reminiscent of that Melbourne City midfield from a number of years back now. Cameroon have won a free kick here in the forward half. All right. Got some good comments and questions coming in here. Got some questions on the A-League and, of course, the mighty Central Coast Mariners. Lockie, what is your take on the Mariners season and situation? Good question, Marcus. Yeah, man, it's been a season that, look, a lot of us, myself included, didn't expect Mariners to push this far up the ladder this season. But Central Coast Mariners, with a few rounds to go, are certainly in the conversation for finals. The mid-season transfer window was huge, absolutely huge. Cameroon's set piece, the free kick, headed away by Chikati. Cameroon is still on the ball. Send it back in once more. And Matty Ryan claims. May well be the first touch of the ball there for goalkeeper Matty Ryan. But yeah, just to go back to the Mariners. Look, hopefully the ownership situation gets sorted out soon. There's been some reports looking online that QPR have been linked with getting involved with the Central Coast Mariners. So we shall see. Tanley, I agree with you. I hope Shuto gets some minutes. I hope so too. Yeah, I was almost half expecting him to start. He's been in some decent form for Hibs over in Scotland. Of course, teammate of Martin Boyle. And another Aussie, Jack Iredale. Jack Iredale not in this squad. So 13 minutes in, it's 0-0. Thanks, guys, for joining us in the live watch along. Oswatch Football, talking all things football in Australia. The round ball game, the beautiful game, the world game. So Cameroon had a good little spell there for a few minutes. A couple set pieces for them, a corner and a free kick, but didn't really eventuate into anything. And overall, I think Tony Popovich will be fairly pleased with his opening 14 minutes now. I mean, the Socceroos have had some good spells of possession and just need to try and convert it into shots at goal. I don't think we've seen any attempts to my memory yet. It's a good question. Who is the next big talent coming from the A-League? Always feel it is an underrated market for the Scottish teams. Yeah, of course. We are just so used to seeing A-League players head over to Scotland. I tell you what, I mean, you got to look at Newcastle Jets. They're having a great season. They've got some great young talent. Will Dobson, Eli Adams and Clayton Taylor. I'm sure they're probably attracting interest from overseas. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. We know that Lockie Rose is already heading over to Scotland with Dundee United for next season. As Cameroon send a cross in, but Harrington clears. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which young players head overseas. I'm sure there will be a decent number. Even someone like Dylan Chicluna. I know Wanderers have been struggling this year, but Chicluna has been very good at Western Sydney. Hayne Eames from Central Coast Mariners. Ocon Exler, yeah, Marcus mentioning Ocon here. That's right, yeah, Lockie Rose, I think was announced last week that, yeah, he's going to be heading over to Dundee United. Couple A-League players heading over there. Jesse Randall of Auckland FC. He's also heading over to Dundee United. G'day, Troy. How you doing, man? Says, hi, Lockie. Long time no see. Great to have your content back. This should be an interesting watch. I see us narrowly winning against Cameroon. Yeah, I'm feeling the same, Troy. I'm feeling the same. This is going to be a good test for the Socceroos against a good team in Cameroon here. Cameroon have another corner coming up as well. Outswing Australia managed just to get it away. Long-range shot coming in. Boyle with the block. Cameroon's still in a good position here, folks. Long ball. Guerrier heads away, but they're still in possession. Cameroon, shots coming in from long range. Australia just struggling to get it away here for the time being, aren't they? Jakardi heads away. No, that's Urich, in fact. All right. Cameroon, again, working their way into this game, and they are starting to look very dangerous indeed moving forward. So it's a good defensive test here for the Socceroos. Another corner coming up for Cameroon. 17 minutes in. They've already had a few. Did our wingback switch sides? I didn't notice that. Could have been for the set piece. Jacob Italiano, Jordy Boss. I mean, those two guys could be the starting wingbacks for the World Cup. Jordy Boss for sure. That's locked in, no doubt. So this corner, that's a header on target, but it's a comfortable save for Matty Ryan. But again, good chance there for Cameroon. Troy asks, just curious, is Rolsey injured? I don't think so. He was called into the squad late on, wasn't he? I think that was announced yesterday. He was called into the squad. I'll double check the bench. Of course, plenty of options on the bench for the Socceroos this evening. I'm sure we'll see many of them involved. Urich getting forward. Tell you what, dude, that looked like Urich has gone down and he's hurt. That was strong contact on Denny Urich. And he's down holding his foot. The referee wasn't interested in awarding a foul. Metcalf with a nice ball over the top for Urich to chase. Tell you what, there was almost a conversation of a penalty here. Excuse me. I'll tell you what, looking at the replays, I don't think it is a foul. I don't think it is. But Denny Juric has gone down pretty sore. Yep, my game is at 19 minutes at the moment. Regional says my prediction: Cameroon 1, Australia 0, as per the look of it. Well, Cameroon have had probably the better of the chances so far. Nothing clear cut just yet. They did have a header on target just a moment ago. Socceroos yet to fashion a real dangerous chance on goal. Troy says also you were definitely right about Jordy Boss being our most promising youngster. He is so good. Yeah, I rate him so highly. Jordy Boss has the potential to play. I think he has the potential to play at the highest level of club football. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jordy Boss playing in a top 5, a top league in Europe very, very soon. We know he's having a good season at Feyenoord, and he's so well-rounded. He's good defensively. We know how good he is going forward. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Jordy Boss. Marcus is disappointed to lose Sega and Volpato. Yeah, as we know, those two players have been spoken a lot. I've spoken about a lot in recent weeks. Segacic choosing to represent Croatia, which is, disappointing because obviously we want to have a fantastic player like Adrian Segacic representing Australia, but we wish him all the best with his international career with Croatia. Jordy Boss looking to chase a long ball down the left, but the flag is up. So we have passed the 20-minute mark already in this game. I was pretty positive about the Socceroos in the opening minutes, but so far we've sort of maybe stepped off the gas a little bit. Cameroon have worked their way into this game pretty well and are starting to create some chances. They've had a number of set pieces now. Hit that like button, support the channel. Appreciate you guys joining us here this evening or this morning, this arvo, wherever whatever the time is, wherever you're tuning in from. Appreciate that. Mark has given us some score updates from NPL New South Wales. Troy chiming in here on the Segacic conversation. Troy says, realistically, Segacic probably shouldn't expect to play much, if at all, for Croatia. They are an amazing team, considering the size of their country. Always impressed by them internationally. Yeah, man. I mean, they've been really impressive at recent World Cups, of course, as we know. And they've produced so many incredible players over the years. But we know Adrian Segacic is a very, very talented player, with a huge career ahead of him. So who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Jacob Italiano has done well to win the ball high up the park here. McGree went for the shot. It was closed down immediately. But that was really nice from Italiano, just applying the pressure and winning the ball. He's probably been Australia's best player so far, as Cameroon win a free kick in the middle of the park. Advantage, in fact. But Italiano, every time he sees an opportunity to get forward, he's there, man. He's looking good. That's what I wanted to talk about before. Yeah, Lewis Miller, of course, we know, out with injury. Huge blow for him and the Socceroos. So Jacob Italiano is starting here and could well be the starting right wing back at the World Cup. That's the question for you guys. Would you like to see Jacob Italiano as that starting right wing back at the World Cup? There is a Socceroos player down here off the ball. What's going on here? Player's been stopped, and who is it holding their head? It's Jacob Italiano, who we were just talking about, holding the left side of his head. Hopefully he's okay. He is slowly getting back to his feet by the looks of things. Possibly just something off the ball. Replays. Oh! What happened there? It was an arm from the Cameroon player went up, and Italiano ended up on the deck holding his face. Anyway, not much in it. 24 minutes in, 0-0. Of course, this is the first of 2 games for the Socceroos during this window. Socceroos will be taking on Curaçao in Melbourne on Tuesday evening, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And of course, Curaçao qualified for the World Cup. So that'll be another fascinating test. Troy says, I actually prefer Guerrier, but because he has experience and knows Popper well. Yeah, man. I mean, Jason Guerrier starting once again tonight for the Socceroos. And yeah, as you say there, Troy, he's got that relationship with Tony Popovic. Jason Guerrier with Tony Popovic at Melbourne Victory and a Perth Glory for memory as well. And now he's with Tony Popovic with the Socceroos. Hope you guys are enjoying this match so far. Thanks for joining in with a live watch along as well. Maybe you're running the multi-screen setup. You got the TV and the phone, or the tablet and the laptop. Really appreciate it. We're all about trying to promote the game here in Australia, trying to provide a platform for fans to engage with the beautiful game. So, can the Socceroos try and gain a bit of momentum? It's been fairly even in the last 5 or so minutes. Love it, Troy. Troy says Paramount on the TV, stream on the phone. Love my soccer. Love to hear it. Awesome. So, Cameroon have another set piece coming up in the forward half. So Australia having to do a lot of defending now in this first half. So far, the Socceroos have been up to the test. Decent delivery, dangerous delivery. Matty Ryan is there to claim, but that was a really good delivery. And Cameroon almost with a shot on target there off that free kick. But Matty Ryan, again, relatively comfortable save in the end. So, Australia back in possession. Nice 1-2 between Italiano and Boyle. Juric on the ball. Denny Juric holding it up well. Wants to bring Jordy Boss into it. And Jordy Boss has been upended. And Australia have won a free kick in a good position. Jordy Boss drawing the foul. And after 27 minutes, this is, to my memory, the Socceroos' first free kick of the game in the forward half. G'day, almost. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Says, good to see you live again. Cheers. Clutch. Thanks for joining in, mate. And really appreciate the super chat. Very kind indeed. It's good to be back with the live streams. This is our second live stream back after taking a bit of a break from the streams. We were live for the last Socceroos game back in, November last year. And we returned with a live stream for the Matildas semi-final last week. Free kick comes in. Guerrier on the right. Appeals for a handball. Taliano swings it up. Good delivery. Boyle's gone down hurt. McGree still in possession for Australia. And the Aussies will recycle it once more. And Cameroon are in possession. But Martin Boyle is hurt. But almost clutch. Thanks once again for the very, very kind super chat, my friend. Marcus with an interesting comment here. Marcus asks, do you see players like Lolly and Sakai sticking around next season? Both have had injury troubles this year and are out of contract. Yeah, good point, Marcus. Yeah, I could see both of them sticking around. I mean, I remember during last offseason, there were reports in the media of Lolly being linked with a move away from Sydney. I remember like Perth Glory were one of the clubs keen on Joe Lolly. So whether Lolly's at Sydney, I don't know, man. And look, yes, Sakai has struggled with injuries this season, but if he can, like when he's fit, he's one of the top defenders in the competition. So I think Auckland would be keen to keep Sakai around at least for another season. Hey. G'day, mate. If you're in Australia, you can watch the game on Paramount Plus. I believe it's on Channel 10 as well. Got a comment here saying, I'm from Perth, hoping for a good group stage in the winter, July. Hopefully a good group stage for the Socceroos and hopefully a real push into the knockout phase. That is what we are hoping for at this next World Cup. We know the Socceroos will have a really good challenge in the group stage coming up against one of the hosts in USA, Paraguay as well. And the Socceroos next week will learn the third and final opponent in the group stage. Of course, qualifiers, those final qualifiers happening at this stage. Free kick for Australia in their defensive half. Appreciate you clarifying that, mate. It is on 10. I'm watching on Paramount Plus this evening, but there you go. Great to have the Socceroos on free to air as well in Australia. Love that, Troy. Troy says, I work with a guy from Paraguay. Heaps of banter coming up for sure. Love it. Yeah, Paraguay. I mean, that'll be a really fascinating test for Australia. It was obviously great that we were, able to play Venezuela and Colombia, another couple of, South American nations there. Paraguay, I'm sure, will be another difficult test in the World Cup in July. So we are well past the half an hour mark here now, 32nd minute, and we need to see a bit more going forward, dude. I mean, we're just going to try and maintain possession a little bit better when moving into these attacking positions. Cameroon are not making it easy for us, that is for sure. Haven't seen too much of Denny Urich. He's had a couple nice moments holding up the ball, as he did just there off that throw-in. But again, losing possession there out wide, giving away a throw-in. So we're not quite linking up as we would like to in those forward positions. I wonder what Tony Popovich is thinking on the sidelines right now, folks. I wonder what Popper is thinking. Is he happy? Is he frustrated? Maybe a bit of both. TX, I am a Central Coast Mariners fan. Have been my whole life. The mighty Mariners. Lesson 23. Jordan Corney-Perkins is my favorite player in Sydney. And he has the least game time in the team. Yeah, man. I tell you what, it's been an interesting season in particular for Jordan Corney-Perkins. It's the last couple of years, he was a pretty regular player for the Sky Blues. But this season, I mean, with Ben Garuccio coming in, there's just been no game time for Jordan Corney-Perkins. Which is a shame for him. I still rate Corney-Perkins. I think he's a good defender. Another flick on header there from Juric off the throw-in. But again, we're just not quite linking up at this stage very effectively. I think defensively we've been all right. Like structurally, I think everything's looking pretty good. I think Popper will be happy with that. Defensively, it's been good. But Cameroon are really starting to conduct this game, to dictate this game, control things. They've done well to get down the right-hand side as well, Cameroon. Another test at the back here for Australia. Dude, everyone behind the ball defending for the Socceroos. And in the end, the long-range shot goes wide of the target. Oh, boy. Going back to the mighty Central Coast Mariners there, of course, Troy, fellow Mariners fan. Is Theo Harris still with us? I haven't seen him in a while. I believe he's injured. I believe Theo is injured, yes. But no, we haven't seen Christian Theo Harris for a while. And even before that, he wasn't really getting much game time. So Christian Theo Harris, yeah, it's an interesting one. But I believe he's injured at the moment. Soccer is trying to play out from the back. Harrington with an unfortunate slip out on the wing. Inviting the pressure back on the Aussies, the back here. 10 minutes to go before halftime. And Cameroon, once again, committing plenty of players in forward positions, and Socceroos getting a lot of players behind the ball, trying to maintain this solid defensive setup. And it's been good. Defensively, it's been good so far. But we are currently in this situation where we're just sitting back, absorbing the pressure. Juric, he's in possession. He's brought down, wins the foul on the center circle. Denny Juric, huge night for Denny Juric tonight. Socceroos debut, brother of Tommy Juric, of course. I'm sure a lot of you will be familiar with Tommy Juric, another Socceroos striker. And has played at a number of A-League clubs as well. Harrington looking to chip it over the top, but that didn't work out for McGree. So again, another example of it not quite, we're losing. Every time we push into the forward half now, we're losing the ball. So we have to improve in that department. That much is obvious. Really appreciate you guys tuning in for this live watch along, man. If this is your first time joining us, my name's Lockie. This is Oswald Football. We're talking all things Australian football. And of course, there's a lot going on at the moment. Obviously, the Socceroos games and the World Cup in a couple months' time. But some big couple months in the A-League coming up. Very keen to do some content on the on these big games coming up in the A-League, of course, to finish off the season and into finals. So it's certainly a busy time. Matildas are back in action next month as well. McGree. Here's a chance for Australia. Geordie Boss is forward down the left. Come on, Geordie. Goes back for Metcalf. I don't mind it. So the Socceroos, with an opportunity here, have committed some players forward. Geordie Boss on the ball once more. Come on, boys. Socceroos just slowing it down. But this is better. We're set up nicely now. We are set up and have an opportunity to create something. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. McGree looking to feed Juric. Juric has done well. The give and go. Boss trying to keep it in. And it's out for a goal kick. So a disappointing end to that passage of play from an Australian point of view. And the broadcast has just cut to Tony Popovich and Hayden Fox. Coaching, of course, head coach Tony Popovich and assistant coach Hayden Fox there, having some conversations, trying to figure this out here for Australia. How can we be a bit more effective going forward. Dude, have we even had a shot on goal? I don't know, man. Quick check at the stats. Not long to go now before half time. According to FontMob, Socceroos with just one shot. Cameroon with 6 shots, just one on target. Possession looking pretty even at the moment. Another free kick coming up for the Socceroos in the forward half. Regional, how do you view our current defense? Look, it's interesting. I like it, though. I do like it. I really rate Lucas Harrington highly. I think he's just a fantastic talent, and it's great to see him starting tonight. I think he deserves it. As we know, Alessandro Ciccardi is just a superstar defender. Jason Guerrier, always reliable. And Italiano and Boston, those wingback positions, as we were saying earlier, may well be starting in the World Cup, those two guys in those wingback positions. So free kick comes in for Australia. Headed away by Cameroon, and it's a free kick the other way. Dang. But look, is this our full-strength defense? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, Cameron Burgess, whether he comes in, and we were talking about Harry Souttar earlier as well. Harry Souttar, surely he is involved in some fashion if he's fit. If he's fit. Troy says, fingers crossed, we're looking good. Had a good comeback. Just need to continue it and forget about that game against Victory. Yeah, man, for the mighty Central Coast Mariners. It was such a good run that we went on. Hey, that undefeated run coming to an end last week at the hands of Melbourne Victory. But yeah, man, I'm still hopeful that we can play finals football this season. Certainly still in the conversation. Alrighty. Can't imagine we'll have too much added time at the end of this half. 41 minutes of football played at a core stadium. And Italiano has won the ball in a forward position. Great chance for Australia. Italiano slipped. McGree wide for Juric. Great chance. Oh, great chance indeed. The pass from Juric was just offline. But that one's much better. Italiano flicks it up. Aidan O'Neill. Just a little bit scrappy. It just feels a little bit chaotic. That was a really good chance there. We got in the box, but just couldn't connect the passes in the end. And it felt a little bit improvised. But still Australia in possession. Juric is doing all right, man. He's getting involved in this game, isn't he? He's winning the ball. Jordy Boss gives it away now. So again, just need to be a little bit better in this final third. That's all we're missing, dude. Look, it hasn't been a terrible performance at all from the Socceroos, but just in the final third, it's not quite there at this stage. And maybe you look to the bench at maybe a Nestori or an Kunda or an Awil Mobile or Ante Shuto, and we've got some variety of options there. Nishan Velupale, whether he comes in as well. Options. Who would you guys like to see in the second half? Let us know in the live chat. Nishan Velupale was certainly look, to be fair, I think Nishan Velupale being selected, it was a decision that I think raised a few eyebrows, to be fair. Nothing against Nishan Velupale. He's been very good for the Socceroos when he has played for Australia. But Nishan Velupale has had a relatively quiet season in the A-League domestically with his club Melbourne Victory. Had a good game last week against the Mariners in the A-League, but overall this season, he hasn't maybe been up to, the standard that we have seen Nishan Velupale at in previous seasons. But we know that he's a player who has great ability, great talent. And again, Think back to when he first came into the Socceroos side a couple of years ago and got on the score sheet. I want Sutar back as well, Cameron. We all want Harry Sutar back. Did we remember how well he did coming into the previous World Cup? He was fantastic in that tournament. First yellow card of the game as well there to Cameroon, just prior to the halftime whistle. Last 5 minutes has seen Australia start to get into some more interesting positions further up the park, but Cameroon are once again heading forward. Ooh, possible penalty shout. No, Cameroon players thought there was something there, but no decision. Is there VAR for these games? I don't know. Are there? Someone let us know in the live chat. These games part of the FIFA series, which would make me think that maybe there is VAR. But I haven't checked. There may well be VAR. Cameron says, I also hope Craig Goodwin comes out of injury. Yep. Obviously, another huge blow for the Socceroos, losing Craig Goodwin to injury. Big blow for Adelaide United in the A-League as well. First half, who is looking better overall? Well, halftime whistle has just gone there. And you're probably going to say Cameroon. They've had more attempts on goal, but nothing really clear-cut. Like, Matty Ryan has had to make a couple sort of routine saves, nothing crazy. So it's been fairly even, but Cameroon have probably looked like the more likely so far. I think that's fair to say. So it's halftime, folks. It's 0-0 in Sydney between Australia and Cameroon. What was your assessment of that first half? Let us know in the live chat. Very curious to, it'd be very interesting to know what the halftime chat is like with Tony Popovic and the players. Troy, I'm probably going to agree with you there. Our attack is looking pretty dire. We definitely need to improve in that department. That's, well, again, defensively, I think we've been all right. Harrington with that great defensive header early on. And structurally, I think we're doing all right. We're not really getting exploited at the back too much. There's not too much space being given away. But yeah, we need to improve in attack. G'day, Blinkers. Good to see you here, man. Says game needs a goal badly. Yeah, it just needs it just to spring to life, I think. Both teams have, again, not too many clear-cut chances. There hasn't been like any stunning saves or anything like that. Hey, A-League X says definitely could do better, but that's Popovic game plan for you. Ezekiel, good question. Any changes next half for either squad that could change things? I think from an Australian point of view, we're definitely looking at that front three, aren't we? Good players there. Look, Juric has looked all right. He's had some good moments in the build-up play. Boyle's been working hard. Like, the effort has been there from these players, hey? Clearly trying to work hard to make things happen, but it's not quite coming off at this stage. But just looking at the bench now, some players who we could see come from Australia in those attacking positions. Aiden Roostich is an option. Aul Mabil, Nestor Irinkunda, Ante Shuto, Nishan Velupale as well. Those are sort of those attacking players that we may well see involved in the second half. Who are those guys would you guys like to see? Nestor Irinkunda surely has to be up there as a likely option in this second half. We know what he brings. He's he always brings a spark, when he comes onto the field with his pace, loves to take defenders on. So I think Nestor Irinkunda, we'll probably see him in the second half. And Suto as well. I'd like to see him involved in the second half as well. Denny Juric has been okay so far, but he's been good, but we may well see a rotation in that forward position as well. Blinkus also says, I don't think either team has been especially great, to be honest. Probably agree with that. Regional says, I hope the second half won't be this bland. Hopefully, I'm sure it will pick up a little bit. I think it will. I think it will. Love it. From Troy. Troy says, I create a club earlier in the year and signed Denny Urich. He scored 10 goals in 15 games for me. There you go. What a signing. What a signing, Troy. Love it. All right. If you guys have any questions or comments on anything related to Australian football, whether that's Socceroos, Matildas, A-Leagues as well, got a huge months coming up in the A-League with finals around the corner. A-League X asks, are you happy with the news that QPR might take over the Mariners? Of course, being a mighty Central Coast Mariners fan, I hope it'll work out successfully, even though they reportedly might replace Moon. Yeah, man. I mean, it's been talked about for a long time. This was like last year. There were some reports about QPR being involved, potentially getting involved, and now these reports have come up again. I'm intrigued by it, and as a Mariners fan, I think I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it. We need to get the ownership sorted out. That's for sure. So at this stage, I'm sort of whatever the APL decides is the direction to go. Let's just do it. My final ladder for the A-League, for A-League men's. I tell you what, I think at this stage in the A-League, the top 5 teams I think are pretty much locked in. Not necessarily in that order, but I think we will see Newcastle, Auckland, Victory, Sydney, Adelaide in finals. But yeah, in the A-League men's, man, it's really fascinating looking at the teams that are contesting for that 6th spot. It's Mariners, MacArthur, City, Wellington is still in with a chance, man. It feels like Brisbane, Perth, and Wanderers are starting to fizzle out this season. So I think we're still looking at, Mariners, City, MacArthur, and Wellington is still in the conversation. They've had a couple of good results lately. So look, I mean, I want to be biased and say that Mariners will be that final team in the top 6. I think we're certainly capable. I think we certainly are. Yeah, Blinkers, that's been certainly a big talking point, hasn't it? Sydney FC, some big news over the past week or so. Ufuk Talay departing Sydney FC in that head coach role, and Patrick Kisnorber coming in for the remainder of the season. And as we know, there's been reports in the media of Ufuk Talay being linked with Western Sydney Wanderers joining the Sky Blues rivals. Will it happen? We'll wait and see. Maybe. It would certainly be quite a dramatic storyline for. I mean, there's a Sydney derby, dude, coming up soon. There is a Sydney derby coming up soon. So, it certainly is fascinating seeing that narrative play out at Sydney FC. It's just a weird time to part ways with your head coach because Sydney FC, they're in the top 6. They've been there for much of the season. They could still make a big push in the final series. They could still make a grand final. Surely they would have held on to Ufuk Talay to see out the season. So I'm really curious to see how the Sydney FC players, the squad, go over these final few rounds in the A-League. Whether they can sort of maintain, just sort of keep the ship steady the ship a little bit, you know what I mean, and just keep going on this current course, getting into finals football, getting into a good position. Because it's not confirmed, it's not locked in at this stage. Sydney FC. I mean, could they crumble away, and could the departure of Ufuk Talay sort of undo things? The stats of this game being shown on the broadcast, again, just one shot for Australia. 52% possession for Australia as well. Cameroon had 6 shots with just 1 on target. The XG has been very low for both teams. Pretty low with the XG as well, which sums up things a little bit now. Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up. Mate. A-League X, of course, reminding me that says, can't believe you and me, of course, yes, together, voted Western Sydney Wanderers first in our predictions. I mean, it just goes to show that the A-League is just impossible to predict. And you look at this team the Wanderers have, it is incredible. Like, still, even like in these recent games that they've been playing. You look at the team on paper, and it's like they've got good players, man, all over the park. We've got good players all over the park. It's all good, A-League X, all good. But it is quite incredible. I thought they were going to have a decent season this year. I thought they were going to have a great season. They played finals football last year, and I thought they were going to build on that, be even better. I thought they strengthened their squad overall, despite losing maybe a couple of key players in Sapsford and Milanovic. But even with Ryan Fraser coming in mid-season, I was still slightly optimistic for them. But yeah, man, they've been the underperformers of this season. That's my opinion. Troy, going back to that coaching drama, Troy says here, what's with the coaching drama? It feels like they want to add some spice, some more spice to the league or something. Dude, and it certainly will add some spice if Ufuk Talay does indeed end up at the head coach role at Western Sydney Wanderers, which reportedly may happen. When does it happen? That's another interesting question. Hey, does it happen soon? Ooh, okay. So it is half time at Accor Stadium in Sydney. It's Socceroos 0, Cameroon 0. What will we see in the second half? Who do you want to see brought on for the Socceroos? Again, we were looking at some of those names before. Hrustic, Aaron Kunda, Nabil Vilupale. I think we'll see at least a couple of those guys brought on in this game. But again, defensively, our structure has been good. Yeah. A-League X asks, our vids back on the channel now. Definitely keen to get back on the roll with some videos. We've got some, obviously A-League finals is just around the corner, but some huge games coming up in the A-League. So, keen to put out some videos on the on some big rounds in the A-League coming up. And man. And of course, building up to the World Cup as well. Blinker says Shuto would be interesting to see. Yeah, I think we will see him. I think Danny Juric has been good so far. Hasn't quite had any sights on goal, but he's been nice getting involved in the build-up play and some good. He's shown his physicality, holding up the ball at times. But yeah, I think we'll see Shuto as well make his debut, which will be great for him as well. Regional. I think. Look, the attack is certainly where we need to see some changes. I think Aaron Kunda has to come on real soon. I think that's probably the first change I would make if I was Tony Popovic. I think Nestor Aaron Kunda somewhere into that front three has to be a move that we see. Whether it comes at half, I don't think Popper has to panic and make any changes at half time. But yeah, something has to be tweaked just to sort of get our attacking players a little bit more involved. And we have to. Not only that, we have to try and, maintain a bit of forward momentum. We keep getting forward into decent positions, giving away the ball, and then all of a sudden we have to drop right back off again. I mean, the first 5-10 minutes, we looked really good and, really lively and we're pushing Cameroon back. But, yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, it's a big question. This is the big question from Only Edits. Thanks for the question, man. And feel free to chime in on this one as well. Do you think we will make it out of the group in the World Cup 2026? I think we are capable of getting out of the group. I do think so. We know we're taking on USA and Paraguay, and next week we'll be finding out our third opponent in the group stage. I think we have the ability. I think we have the players to do it. Look, based off what we're seeing in this game and in recent friendlies, we are going to need to improve. I think we need to step up to that next gear, the next level. So yeah, it certainly is a big question, man. I think we are capable. I think we can. We have to be aiming to get out of the group. But it's going to require, I think, our level to lift somewhat. A-League X, I mean, as a Mariners fan, I'd love to see some Mariners players in the World Cup squad, but I probably can't see it. Yeah, I can't see it. It's been a good season for Mariners, but a season where we are continuing to build and push back up the ladder once again. So I again, I'd love to see some Mariners play in the World Cup squad, but there's no one that necessarily stands out. Like I think Haynames has been good in recent weeks, but like he's one for the future. So yeah, actually, dude, I'll tell you what. On this question, Alex, I'm glad you asked this. I don't think we should be surprised if Andrew Redmayne is in the World Cup squad. I don't know if that's a biased take from a Mariners fan, but Andrew Redmayne has been one of the best goalkeepers in the league this season. The goalkeepers for this current squad: Matty Ryan, Paul Izzo, and Patrick Beach. Joe Gauchi's probably in the mix as well. We know Harrison Devonish-Mears has been training with the Socceroos as well in this current camp. Not in the squad officially, but just training with them by the looks of things. Andrew Redmayne's been having a top season, and I wonder if that could be a good move from Popovich to bring in an experienced guy, an experienced keeper there in Andrew Redmayne, who was at the last World Cup, right? We shouldn't forget. He was at the last World Cup. So in terms of any Mariners players in the World Cup squad, I think if we're going to see anyone, it could be Andrew Redmayne. So the second half is just around the corner, and it looks like we are going to see a couple changes already. Nestori Irinkunda is receiving some instructions from Tony Popovich on the sideline as we speak, folks. Very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Of course, Stadium, the venue for this one, interesting to see. Not certainly plenty of a strong crowd in the house, that is for sure, but not a sellout this evening. But the Socceroos are going to make a couple changes here, in fact. Awal Mabil is coming on as well. Mabil, great to see him back involved with the Socceroos. Huge to see him back in the squad, and he will be coming on for this second half. Awal Mabil currently receiving some instructions from assistant coach Hayden Fox. Valhoon says, pitch seems to be a bit heavy. Blinkus, going back to that Redmayne conversation, says, Redders is definitely a shot if other players get injuries or form drops, in my opinion. And that's right, A-League X. It looks like Awal Mabil is coming on. Irinkunda is on the sideline as well and could be coming on as well. Keep an eye on that one. But Mabil's ready to go. So Awal Mabil is on, replacing Martin Boyle. Nestori Irinkunda is also receiving some instructions. So it looks like he'll be coming on also. So, two big changes here for Australia. Irinkunda's on. We've got the 2006 Socceroos jersey here behind us in the backdrop. Do I wear the beanie? Do I wear the beanie, folks? It has been a fairly chilly evening, chilly day in the Sydney area. Second half is underway. Can the Socceroos make the breakthrough? Can the Socceroos find the back of the net? So, that's right, Lee. Irinkunda is on as well. It's the second half. And as we were talking about the live chat, we are hoping that things really pick up in this second half. Australia with just one effort on goal. So the players off, Martin Boyle and Denny Urich. Denny Urich is off as well. So I'm very curious to see what this front line looks like now for Australia. Who is playing as that central forward? It may well be Nestori Irinkunda playing as the central striker. Mobile appears to be on the right-hand side and McGree on the left. But having a look at the pitch, Kunda is playing in that central striker position. Interesting. So Geordie Boss in an advanced position. Nabil gets a touch on the ball. O'Neill flicks out wide. Italiano, this is a chance for Australia early in the second half. McGree with a shot that was blocked, but that's the second. Dude, that's our second shot on goal. That's our second shot on goal of the game. And it came from Riley McGree. Kunda has done well to win it in the box here. Takes it out wide. Can't find a teammate though, but starting the second half just like we started the first, really brightly. Good to see. Good to see. Great to see everyone joining us here for this live watch along. Thanks for joining, folks. Hit the like button, support the channel. Shout out once again to Almost Clutch for the very kind super chat, supporting Watch Football here. Thanks very much to Almost Clutch. We are back with our first Socceroos live stream since November last year when the Aussies lost to Colombia 3-0. So it's been some time now since we've seen the Socceroos find the back of the net. Hey, League X, it's a good question. What would be your ideal starting 11, including dream formation for the World Cup? Look, personally, I'm happy with this formation. The back 3, 5, whatever you want to call it. I think it works with the players we've got. So I'm happy to stick with this formation. I mean, I think I would bring in Sutar and Burgess in that back line alongside Chikati, personally. Harrington and Gary are great options in there as well, of course. And then for the wing-backs, I probably would go with these two guys. I would go with Italiano and Boss. And then, see, midfield is an interesting one. I think Irvine has to start. I think Jackson Irvine does start in a World Cup midfield for the Socceroos. And it probably is Aidan O'Neill alongside him. He's just such like a solid, consistent player. And then front 3, I would go McGree on the left, Kunda on the right, and Mo Toure. 3 former Adelaide United players. I think that's my front 3. I don't know about you guys, but McGree, Kunda, Toure. 3 players who are currently playing their football in the English Championship. At different clubs. But yeah, feel free to chime in the live chat as well. What's your ideal World Cup starting 11 for the Socceroos? Who would you like to see? But yeah, again, I think in midfield I would go Irvine and O'Neill. But look, Metcalf in midfield, again, he's starting here tonight and he's done all right. He's looked good there. Got Yazbek who can come in there, Ocon Engsler, Ballard, he's not even in the squad. Cross comes in from O'Neill. Dude, the delivery wasn't bad. Nabil almost got on the end of it. But again, with these opening minutes of the second half, it's looking much more promising. Kunda has dropped over to the right-hand side now of that attack. Nabil through the middle. We may well see a bit of rotation from that front 3 for the Socceroos. Don't mind that. Hey, League X. Yeah. Robertson and Ballard in midfield. I mean, that'd be cool to see. Alex Robertson, would love to see him come off the bench in this game, man. And we know a talented young player, Robertson. It's been a while since we've seen him star for the Socceroos. Here's a run from Geordie Boss down the left. Come on. Come on, Geordie. That's a corner for sure, right? That's got to be a corner, no? It is a corner indeed. Set piece coming up here for the Socceroos. But yeah, I think my lineup is pretty similar to yours, League X. I mean, a midfield 3 of Irvine, Ballard, and Robertson would be interesting to see. That's for sure. But Tony Popovic seems pretty set on this back three, the three central defenders. So Mobile to send in the in-swinging corner. Near post. Metcalf, in fact, just loses it. So a bright start to this second half for the Aussies. We have already seen 2 substitutions at the half-time break. Mobile and Irankunda on. Love it. We needed to see a bit of a shake-up in the front third, and we've got it. And here's McGree trying to hold onto the ball, surrounded by defenders. Cameroon with a chance to get forward. Bit of scrappy defending. Cameroon have won a free kick. Come on, the Roos. Come on, Australia. So, another defensive test here coming up for the Socceroos. Again, defending set pieces, we've looked fairly comfortable so far tonight. Just got to maintain that. Dude, the more I see this kit on the field, the more I like it. There's like a gradient to the shorts. You know what I mean? The green shorts, there's a gradient. It like gets darker the lower it goes down. I dig it. I dig it. Yellow shirt, green shorts, white socks. It's the Socceroos 2026 World Cup kit, and it's very nice indeed. So they've shown Tony Popovic on the broadcast on the sidelines a couple of times, and just wonder how he's feeling about this game so far tonight. Need to see a bit of an improvement going forward in attack. We've got that a little bit in the second half already so far. Socceroos under pressure at the back, but doing well to deal with that pressure. Chance to come forward. Harrington for McGree. Harrington's has not looked out of place. He's been very good on his Socceroos debut here. Metcalf, just offline with a pass. I think Metcalf was in 2 minds there, whether to go short to Mobile or I think it was Italiano on the overlap. Ended up finding neither of them. Cameroon with a good chance. Edge of the box. Long-range shots wide of the target. Again, Matty Ryan claimed the ball a couple times in the first half, some routine saves. Aside from that, he hasn't had much to do in this game. So I think that's credit to Australia's defending and structure. We're limiting Cameroon to, having to make their attempts on goal from outside the area. Italiano surely fouled there. Yes, he is. Ten minutes into this second half, it's 0-0 still. Tan Lee says, if Sutar doesn't make the squad, I don't mind Harrington. Yeah. Again, like Harry Sutar, we all obviously hope that he is back ASAP playing football and involved in the World Cup squad. But for whatever reason, if he's not there, if he's not fit, I think Lucas Harrington Could well be there. Even if Sutar is fit, it may well be Harrington in there as well. Like Harrington is starting ahead of Burgess, ahead of Deganek. I mean, whether, there could be other factors in regards to Harrington's selection tonight. But Lucas Harrington, man, there is a serious chance that he is in that World Cup squad. He's looked good tonight. He has looked good. Love it, Lee. Lee says, Harrington is my favorite player because he used to play for the Raw, and I support the Raw. Love it. Yeah, I mean, I remember at the start of this season, Harrington was there for the first few months before heading over to the MLS. He was very good for the Raw early on this season, man. Great to see him. He's on an upward trajectory, Lucas Harrington, and it's awesome to see him here making his Socceroos debut. He deserves it. Cameroon have won the ball high at the park. Forward pass is just offline. Matty Ryan onto it quickly to claim it. As we tick closer to the hour mark of this game in Sydney, 0-0 between Australia and Cameroon. This is the first of 2 games in this window for the Socceroos, taking on Curacao in Melbourne next week. Player's been halted here because there's a player for Cameroon who is down hurt. Bit of a collision with Riley McGree by the looks of things. Tan Lee, yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a good point you raised there, Tan Lee, who says we're stacked with centre backs. I just worry about our lack of depth in the wing backs. Yeah, I know what you mean. It certainly feels like we're talking about all these good options amongst those 3 centre back positions. It feels like it's plenty of competition there, but we are lacking some wing backs. Jordi Boss is certainly a lock for left wing back, as is Bajic is on the bench tonight, and he's a great backup option at left wing back. Obviously, we know that Callum Melder could come into that position as well. And then a right wing back, we know that Lewis Miller's injured, so Jacob Italiano is coming here from the start once again. He's been good. He's looked good tonight, Jacob Italiano. But yeah, who else in that right wing back position? Personally, I'd like to see Nathaniel Atkinson return to the Socceroos. I think he's had a good season for Melbourne City. Left wing back, you've also got Kai Rolls, who's played that role for the Socceroos last year a little bit. Ooh. This would be interesting. Chikati with a bit of a high boot here. It's a yellow card for Alessandro Chikati. And I'm probably not too surprised with the decision. I mean, it didn't look like there was much contact, to be honest, on the replays, but he certainly came in with the studs raised a little bit, Chikati, which was a risky decision, I think, in that situation. We wanted to win the ball, but on the hour mark, Alessandro Chikati picks up Australia's first yellow card of the game, I believe. So, where is the goal coming from? Who will break the deadlock? Who will make the breakthrough? Australia, Cameroon. Another big match coming up on Tuesday night in Melbourne. The Socceroos taking on Curacao, which will be another interesting test for the Aussies. But a bit of defending is on the cards for the Socceroos at this moment. And again, our shape defensively, it's been good. Been very well organized at the back. And that's the thing that came a little bit unstuck for us in that last game for the Socceroos against Colombia, losing 3-0. We haven't really seen scorelines like that under head coach Tony Popovich. He's maintained a really solid defensive structure for this Socceroos team under his leadership. But losing 3-0 against Colombia, things fell apart at the end of that game, you might recall, for the Socceroos at the back. It was disappointing. But it's great to see in this game, again, really, really strong in defense. Any more subs? Not yet, but Connor Metcalf is currently down on the deck. Got plenty of options in the middle of the park as well, whether Robertson comes in, Ocon Engsler, even Aiden Hrustic. Connor Metcalf currently having some conversations with the physios. Changes coming up. Here we go. A-League X is on it as well. Triple change indeed. You were spot on there, A-League X. Yep. Hrustic, Burgess, Ocon, Engsler. All three are coming on. Connor Metcalf, who's currently receiving some treatment on the field of play as we speak. You'd imagine he'll be one of the guys coming off. A-League X says Hrustic should hopefully start in the World Cup or compete with Robertson. I think he'll be there. I do rate Hrustic highly. I think he's a technically really gifted footballer, isn't he? He's fantastic with his set pieces as well. I think he's he'd be a great outlet for the Socceroos in the World Cup. Whether he starts or not, yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting conversation. You look at those number 10 positions and could really thrive in one of those roles. Marcus asks, why does the World Cup song seem like it's AI created? I haven't heard it, to be honest. I'll have to give it a listen sometime. A-League X asks, so many players choosing other countries. What do you think, Lockie? I mean, yeah, obviously we would love for all these talented players to represent Australia. But at the end of the day, like, you just got to respect their decision. Wish them all the best. Would love to have Adrian Segic playing for Australia, but he won't be. So yeah. Yeah, it's a big talking point at the moment, isn't it? So those three changes have been made for Australia. So Burgess is on, Guerrier off. So that will see Burgess play at left centre-back, Harrington over to right centre-back. So how about that? I thought maybe Harrington was going to come off. He's been great, but I thought just on debut, maybe they were going to give him a rest after an hour. But no, Harrington is still on the park and Burgess comes in. Change in midfield. Ocon Engsler in for Connor Metcalf. So Alex Robertson still on the bench. Thought maybe that he would come on into that midfield position. And Aiden Hrustic is also on the park. I didn't get a sight of who came off there. It must have been McGree. It was. So 5 substitutions have been made for Australia. Is that enough to try and spark this side into action and to find the goal that we are desperately craving? Really appreciate you guys once again joining us for this live watch along this evening. Socceroos taking on Cameroon. If you want to support the channel, you can hit the like button. You can also consider sending in a super chat. And you can subscribe if you want to stay up to date to our live streams here. Burgess. Ooh, a little flick from Irankunda. He was probably looking for Hrustic, who was ahead of him there, but couldn't quite find him. Aiden Hrustic at this current moment in time looks like he's playing that central forward position with Irankunda and Mobile in the wide roles. What can the Socceroos create here? Good movement indeed. Great ball movement. Irankunda almost in. Aiden O'Neill goes down. Some appeals for a penalty. I don't know about that. Good bit of play indeed, A-League X. And Tarnley says we need a screamer from Irankunda is what we need. And that would be a great way to really unlock this game. We know Nesri Irankunda is capable of scoring some stunning goals. But yeah, it was a really nice passage of play a moment ago for the Socceroos. Irankunda involved, Hrustic as well, Mobile. VAR are checking this apparently. Aiden O'Neill brought down in the box. Ooh, dude, I tell you what. Initial viewing, I thought no pen. But on replay, that looked like a penalty. I think Aiden O'Neill's been fouled here. Yep. The referee has been called over to inspect this incident where Aiden O'Neill has been fouled in the box. Yeah. There's clear contact. There's clear contact with Aiden O'Neill. The defenders missed the ball completely. That's a penalty for me. That looks like a pretty easy decision. It's a penalty for Australia. Lee thought it was a pen too. Had to be. Blinker says, yep, I think it's a pen in my opinion. I don't think you can argue with that. So, penalty for Australia. And it's a chance here for Aiden Hrustic, who's currently holding the ball, to finally make the breakthrough. This game needed a goal. Aiden Hrustic stepping up for Australia. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some crucial moments from the penalty spot coming up at the World Cup for Australia. And Aiden Hrustic with the opportunity for the Socceroos 70 minutes into this game. Oh, it's a save. Oh, my goodness. What a save. Oh, my goodness. Aiden Hrustic denied from the spot. Oh, my gosh, dude, yeah. Look, the penalty wasn't bad, was it? The replays, he kept it low. He went down to the Hrustic down to his right, keeper down to his left, chose the right way and chose, that was brilliant. It was a great save. Great save from Cameroon's goalkeeper. And it remains scoreless. It wasn't bad. Lee agrees as well, says, yeah, it wasn't bad. Like, that wasn't a poorly taken penalty, was it? But it was a great save. And Australia denied. Drama. As we approach the final stages of this contest. Wow, dude. It feels a bit like that, doesn't it, Troy? The goalkeeper just chose the right way. I mean, take nothing away from the save. It was a good stop, but yeah, he guessed the right way and he got it. Great save. Hrustic denied. He kept it low, went towards the corner. Keeper went the right way. Socceroos trying to build something once again. Hrustic. Jeez, it's real scrappy, isn't it, at times in this game? I mean, trying to get things happening, moving forward. Socceroos starting to commit some more players in attacking positions. I'm sure there's plenty of drama still on the way in this game as the fouls continue to come. Some free kicks for both sides. G'day, Master FU2. Yeah, definitely keen to do some A-League streams. We've got some big games coming up, man, and obviously with finals around the corner. So, yeah, keep an eye out, mate. Keep an eye out. G'day, Yami. We are in the 73rd minute of this game. 73rd minute, 0-0 between the Socceroos and Cameroon. Hayden Hrustic had the opportunity to score the first goal in this contest. Unable to do so. Denied from the penalty spot. So here's the thing, right, folks? There's Jacob Italiano comes down the right. Here's the thing. We may be in this scenario in a couple months' time in North America at the World Cup. We may be in the scenario where we are chasing a goal. Are we capable of making the breakthrough? I want to see us get this goal, man. We're going to make the breakthrough. Socceroos have won a corner here. I think I agree with some of the Cameroon players. It didn't look like it was a corner. I don't know about that, man. That looked like a goal kick to me. Oh, boy. Cameroon are making a couple subs as we speak. Troy says it's a weird one because Cameroon are a decent side. They are fast, strong, but haven't been clinical tonight. But the last World Cup qualifiers, we looked a lot stronger. Obviously, things can happen, though. Yeah, Cameroon. I mean, they have been really good at times tonight, but they haven't properly tested Matty Ryan tonight. Some of their shots coming from long range, wide of the target, not finding the target enough tonight, Cameroon. But they've certainly provided us with a great test. That's right, Thunder. Come on, you're in Kunda. So, corner for the Socceroos. Is the goal finally on the way for Australia? Can we make the breakthrough? Hrustic goes short. Nestori Irankunda trying to beat his defender. Gets the cross in towards Boss. Here's a chance. Burgess. A header directed towards goal, but it was just wide from substitute Cameron Burgess, who plays his club football with Swansea City in the English Championship. One of many Australian players plying their trade in the second division in England. Oh, Lee, I love it, man. I love the optimism. I'm right with you there. Lee says, I honestly think we can get to the quarters or the semi-final of the World Cup. I mean, that would be incredible. The quarters would be incredible. Look, I think we have to, of course, be aiming for the knockout phase. I think we are certainly capable of getting to the knockout phase. If we can get to the quarterfinal, that would be incredible. That would be a truly monumental achievement indeed. To be amongst the final 8 teams of the World Cup. That would be surely the greatest moment in Socceroos history. Tell you what, though, we need a little bit of improvement, I think, if we're going to get there. Coin coming up for Cameroon. Tan Lee says, I missed Lecky. I don't think he will make the World Cup. Yeah. Yeah, Lecky, unfortunately, once again, struggling with injury this season. His club side, Melbourne City. So I think it's quite unlikely. Look, I still really rate Matt Lecky. I think he's a good player, versatile player as well. But yeah, man, he's unfortunately struggled with injuries this season. Seen a lot of players slipping over in this game as Geordie Boss is now flying forward down the left. Hey, Mobile. The flag is up. Mobile must have just been offside there for that pass. Troy says our group is definitely a lot nicer in my opinion. No France or Denmark. Yes, of course. Obviously, USA are good and Paraguay are much improved, but still, it's still going to be tough for us. Yeah. Yeah. On replay, Mobile was maybe just onside. It was a close call, though. Yeah, man, we're going to need to put in. We're going to need to certainly lift our overall level. I think if we're going to progress from the group stage, because we've got some tough opponents, man. It's not an easy group. Yeah, I agree. It certainly has been a very stop-start game. There has been a lot of free kicks, a lot of fouls. It's felt like, at least. Socceroos. Again, dude, Cameroon really applying the pressure when we're playing it from the back. It's been a bit nervy at times playing out from defense for the Socceroos. I like that Popper's been pretty eager to make those substitutions. Sometimes it feels like we need to make a change and we don't quite see it until it's maybe too late. But 2 changes at the break and 3 changes not too long after. We've had 5 substitutions made in this game. Burgess almost caught in possession. Chicardi has it forward. Again, like a little bit of nerviness at times playing out from the back, but overall, we've done all right in that department. Harrington's been good tonight, man. Harrington's looked very comfortable on the Socceroos debut. Which players have stood out for you guys tonight? Let me know in the live chat. We'd love to hear from you all. I think Jacob Italiano. I mean, again, there hasn't been any like stunning performances from any soccer players tonight. That's probably fair to say. I think Jacob Italiano has been decent. But I do think Lucas Harrington's been solid, and I think Chicardi has actually has been there. Has been there every time. Here's a chance for the Socceroos. Irankunda. Oh, well, probably best chance of the game for either side right there. Obviously, barring the penalty. But Nestri Irankunda. Great pass from Mobile, and Irankunda with a left-footed shot. Well saved. Very rapid indeed. Great pace there shown from Irankunda. Italiano and Harrington, Tarnley mentions here as 2 players who have stood out. Yeah. Quiet game for Boss. Yeah, we haven't seen too much of him going forward. A couple times here and there, but not as much as we would have liked from Geordie Boss. Top player. Boss. We are in the final 10 minutes of regulation time. Cameroon looking to get him behind down the right. Chicardi, good defending. Chicardi's been solid tonight once again. Chance to break away on the counter. Mobile. Come on, Socceroos. Mobile flicking it across. Irankunda. He shoots. Oh. Another good chance for Nestori Irankunda. But the shot goes wide and the Socceroos are preparing another 3 changes. Ron Rotoni, is Mo going to be back for Norwich after Easter? Hopefully. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Mo Toure and his injury situation. Hopefully he's back playing football soon. Tarnley says Irankunda must start at the World Cup. See, it's an interesting dilemma. It's like, do you start him or do you bring on Aaron Kunda as an impact player in the second half to really unlock things? Because we know he's so good coming on to change a game. So, yeah. He certainly is good enough to start, don't get me wrong. But to have Aaron Kunda, to have him, to be able to bring him on, in a second half when the opposition is maybe tiring a little bit, great option. So changes here for the Socceroos. Yazbek is on for O'Neill. Deganek is also coming on. Deganek is replacing Alessandro Ciccati. So incredibly, Lucas Harrington is one of the only outfield players who may well play the whole 90 minutes here. Deganek is on for Ciccati. Kai Truan, oh no, excuse me, I might be mistaken. Harrington may have just come off. No, Harrington is still on. Very interesting. Kai Truan came on. Anyway, we'll come back to those subs. Mobile's in a good position. Jordy Boss on the left. Crossing it. Come on. Come on, boys. Kai Truan is playing right wing back, folks. Not a position that Kai Truan, we often see him in. We do often see Kai Truan play as either a central defender or a defensive midfielder, but he's over at the right wing back position here, Kai Truan. So Harrington is still on. What a debut for Lucas Harrington. Miloš Deganek on for Ciccati. So Truan would have come on for Italiano at right wing back, and Yazbek on for O'Neill in midfield. Troy also says it's good to have Mobile back. One of my favorites. Yeah, it's great. It's great to see Ail Mobile back for the Socceroos. He's a top player. So, in the final stages of this contest in Sydney, is there a goal that awaits the Socceroos? Truan, bit of a sloppy pass, but Yazbek maintains the ball. It's been just a little bit sloppy just in general for the Socceroos, hey? Yazbek giving the ball away just cheaply there. Can't afford to do that, especially, look, again, we can't afford these little mistakes, even a couple months out from the World Cup. In a World Cup, man, we're going to get punished for these little cheap giveaways, aren't we? So, got to make sure we improve in that department. The game is starting to become really stretched out. And the Socceroos are looking to find a way through. That's good movement. Aaron Kunda knocking it around the box. Jordy Boss is in. There it is. The Socceroos make the breakthrough. It's Jordy Boss. It's 1-0. Finally, dude. Finally. Finding the back of the net in the 85th minute. And it's Jordy Boss. Great pass indeed. Get in, clutch. That's right. Who else, Troy? From left wing back as well. There was a nice move from Australia, wasn't it? Oh, dude. I mean, poor error at the back there for Cameroon as that pass was slipped in behind. Ocon Exelot, nice ball. And Jordy Boss, that's a great finish. Jordy Boss, who's found himself in that centre forward position with the Socceroos committing some more numbers forward. We needed to find that goal. We were struggling to create clear-cut chances, and finally we take it. Jordy Boss, there it is. The deadlock is broken. Dude, and again, This might be the scenario for Australia in a World Cup game in a couple months' time where we are chasing a goal. We need a goal to get ourselves the win. And there we go. Australia find the goal. And it's Jordan Boss, who, again, as I said at the top of the stream, and I've said for many months now, I believe is Australia's best player. And truly indeed has the potential to become, I think, one of Australia's all-time greatest players. I think his ceiling is incredibly high. Jordy Boss is capable of playing at a top club in world football, in my opinion. Jordy Boss. That's right, Tarnley. Ocon to Boss was the combination. Ocon Engsler. Great pass in behind, and Jordy Boss was there to make the finish. And that's right, Lee. Got to hold on to this lead now. Cameroon will surely go for it now. Looking to get something out of this game. So the Socceroos. It's been possibly another classic Socceroos performance where we've had to do a good amount of defending. But we snatch a goal late on. It's reminiscent of the qualifying match against Japan last year. Plenty of defending, not too many chances, and then we get forward at the end and find the back of the net. That's right, Troy. He's having a good season at Feyenoord. And I'd love to see Boss playing, who knows, an English Premier League club. That'd be great to see. I think he's capable. He's an elite left wing back. So the Socceroos have to see out this lead now. It's going to be another yellow card. Directed the way of Kai Truin for that foul. Kai Truin, is he maybe going to be another option for that right wing back role? That's where he is playing in the final stages of this game. Again, not the kind of guy you're used to seeing, getting up and down the wing. Kai Truin. Centre back, defensive midfielder, but he's out at right wing back tonight. Really appreciate you guys joining us for this live watch long tonight. Not long to go. Socceroos are so close. Shout out again to Almost Clutch for that very kind super chat earlier this evening. We've got the game against Curacao next week, Tuesday night. Curacao have qualified for the World Cup. They are there. So that'll be another interesting test. But of course, these are the final games before the World Cup. We've got another warm-up game against Mexico prior to the World Cup as well. But we want to make sure we are looking good heading into the World Cup. Burgess with a defensive header off that free kick for Cameroon. Burgess with again with a header. And Yazbek pokes it away. And again, when it comes to these crucial World Cup games, it might not necessarily be about, putting in a performance that's not necessarily, it might not be down to putting down a pretty performance. But as long as we can get a result, as long as we can hold on defensively and get that late goal with 3 minutes added on here. Aaron Kunda. This is a great run, but he slipped over, and that's going to be a foul. Another yellow card shown here. Aaron Kunda with a great run. Jackson 77, thanks for the comment, mate. Really appreciate it. Says thanks for the live watch, mate. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jackson. Make sure you guys hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date to when we're doing our live watch longs. We'll have to do another one next Tuesday for the Curacao game, hey? Same time on Tuesday night. Aaron Kunda is currently receiving some treatment after being brought down after that run. It almost looked like he slipped Oh, no, maybe there was a slight push there. But dude, this is concerning. Aaron Kunda went down and he looked, it was a heavy fall. And hopefully nothing too serious here for Nestori Irankunda, who is still receiving some treatment. Tan Lee, thanks very much for the very kind super chat, mate. Really appreciate that. Tan Lee's been a long time viewer here of Oz Watch Football for a number of years now. So thanks for the live tonight, Lockie. Tan Lee, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate your support of the channel here. We are back with the live streams. We did our first one of the year last week for the Matildas semi-final in the Asian Cup, and this is our first Socceroos live stream for the year. And of course, we've got some big games coming up, that's for sure. So keep an eye on it when the World Cup comes around as well. Thanks for that, Troy. Great to see you here once again, mate. And hopefully a good result, or good results, I should say, on the way for the mighty Central Coast Mariners in the remaining rounds of this A-League season. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Not too long to go. Good to see Nestori Irankunda back on his feet. And a long-range free kick as Cameroon are making another change. Yeah, Rhonda Rattoni says here in the live chat, since the 80th minute, we've played forward much better with pace. Yeah. It's almost like we needed those subs maybe just to unlock things a little bit. But yeah, for the final 10 minutes, you can tell we stepped up another gear, and maybe that was part of the game plan from Papa. Irankunda's long-range free kick is on target, but Cameroon's goalkeeper is comfortably behind it. So it's all a matter of seeing out this result now. Defensive half free kick for the Socceroos. Make sure you hit the like button before jumping out. Really appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. It's been a good performance from Australia in the end. Not perfect, but good enough in the end to get the results against a good Cameroon side here. Good to see plenty of players, a variety of players on the park. What was it? 8 substitutions, I think, all up total. Lucas Harrington, he's been great on debut. Geordie Boss on the score sheet once again for Australia. It's full time in Sydney. 1-0 to the Socceroos over Cameroon. We got the win in the end. It wasn't pretty at times, but it doesn't matter. When it comes to a World Cup, all that matters is the 3 points in the end, is the win to keep ourselves alive in the World Cup. So tell you what, if we can do that in the World Cup, I think we'd take it. I think we would take it. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in tonight. Shout out to Almost Clutch early this evening with the very kind super chat, as well as Tan Lee with the $10 super chat. I really appreciate you guys' support of Oz Watch Football here. And hey, we might see you guys live on Tuesday evening for our live watch along for the Socceroos Curaçao game. That is game 2 coming up in this FIFA series for the Socceroos. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like button as well on your way out, and have a safe and happy and fun weekend. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.